What's been going on YouTube? This is OXBats here today bringing you my second round matchup for 6fthax's or Leo's tournament. It's NU or RU, so I'm gonna use my RU team. I use the same team throughout the whole tournament. So I lost in third round. I got a 4-0 by Rick, but yeah, what can we do about it? I'm gonna go for the U-turn, and he's gonna predict that and goes for the rough skin Dudrigon, which is a great play. I actually have a Dudrigon myself. Maybe not the exact same set, but I actually have one like that with the rough skin and rocky helmet, max defense, max HP, which is a really good defensive monster. That thing like blows every single anti-palm that you can see out there, like really. So he's gonna set up a substitute. I'm gonna go for the ice beam. That's totally gonna break this up because although this thing is pretty special, has some special bulk built in. I know he's max defensive, not special defensive. So he's gonna Dragon Tail me off into my Hunch Crow, and I can't really touch him because yeah, I'm physical, and he's gonna completely obliterate me. So I'll switch back into my Lapras, and I know he's gonna switch out because the poison damage was really gonna rack up on him. So I switched out into Lapras, knowing that he'd switch out to something that could resist the Brave Bird or something like that, which actually turned out good for me. So I go for the Skull, which means I mean that means I'm gonna get a free Skull on anything on anything that comes in, which is hopefully this Drapion, and I get the burn plus 25% damage from the Scald, which is awesome, total awesomeness right there. So Lapras started off the match doing some freaking work, so I'm gonna switch out, freeing the Earthquake into my Titty Pinch because it's unaffected. So he's gonna go for the knockoff. Actually, that really blows because he knocks out my Eevee, which means I'm not gonna take hits any longer than I was supposed to. So he goes for the taunt, which really caught me off guard. Like, yeah, I don't really see that much taunt Drapions. Maybe this one's a defensive Drapion, a support defense Drapion, which is pretty good because Drapion is a freaking defensive monster. But yeah, I go for the Earthquake. Look at the holy shit damage it did. So it's definitely not defensive because I actually did a lot with that Earthquake. More than that was like 45% damage from the Earthquake. So a second Earthquake is gonna be enough to take it out. Um. Okay, 1 second. I'm saying I'll be. Also try to have a. Okay, I'm just skyping with Piece of Pone POP, which making some badass hacks. So I'm gonna put his link down in the description because man, he deserves it. He deserves it. He really deserves it. So I go for the Toxic into the incoming Blastoise, which is always awesome and pro to Toxic Blastoise because Toxic Blastoise is the best bet you can do. Like really. He goes for the Ice Beam and gets me frozen solid, which is stupid and it's sucky and sucks balls. So I thought I would first turn luckily and go for the Earthquake. That's not going to do that much, but still. Some damage is better than none, right? And poison is gonna eventually rack up, so he's gonna might want to switch out sooner or later, knowing that my Earthquake is probably gonna do the same amount of damage that the Toxic did this turn. But he actually opts to finish my Titty Pinch off before switching out, which is pretty good because maybe I don't know if he has that much offensive power. I don't know. So now I'm gonna switch it. I'm blue and I believe I could die and I believe I could. It's okay. I'm sorry. I go for the U-turn. Actually, I thought he was gonna switch out, but he didn't. So which is pretty good on my part. Switching to Miltank, I get poisoned, and he goes for the Ice Beam. I don't carry the thick fat. This is actually a scrappy workup Miltank. Y'all should know because I had some battles with it. He has some leftovers and whatever and whatnot. And I think Poison is gonna kill him off. Yeah, Poison is gonna take out the Blastoise this turn, which is pretty good. Holy crap! I'm having asset reflexes. So I go for the workup because yeah, I know I can outspeed and whatever, but that wasn't the best play I could do because he's not gonna set up the rocks, which means my birds are gonna have a really hard time getting into the field, getting 25% each of them when they come in and out. and knowing that my Braviary carries the U-turn, which is a not so, I don't know what, it's a switch out move. It's gonna be hard for my bird. So I'm here trying to take out the freaking Rhyperior, or at least get some damage. I still have my how do I say it? I still have my Lapras, I think, which can totally take out this Rhyperior, no problem. But I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can, possibly with Miltank, because Miltank always lures out all these defensive Pokemon that are weak to Lapras or weak to Alakazam. So I go for the Earthquake, and I think I get a critical hit right here, which is pretty good. Which means that Rhyperior is going to get down and get dirty next turn, because he's going to be taken out by Sung Titanic. You don't have a clue how many Rhyperiors Sunk Titanic has taken out. Like, you don't even have a clue. Like, ever since I started using this team, Lapras has been getting Rhyperiors up the wazoo, man. Like, it's something else. Like, really, I've taken out seriously like 9 Rhyperiors. Obviously different matches. So he's gonna bring in Haunter now, and he's gonna go for the T-Wave. I know I can take one since it's not stab, and I know he's probably gonna be scarfed. And by the fact that he didn't kill me, I know he is scarfed. So I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam because I don't know, Scald was not the best choice, I guess. So now I know he's going to stay in locked into T-Bolt, which is gonna work out for me because now, since I know he's scarfed instead of specs because he didn't kill, I can send in I'm blue Natalie back then. And I don't know why he switched out because I really don't know, because Hunter outspeeds Braviary by a mile. So I go for the Brave Bird, and look the tremendous damage this thing does to that Grassrodon. It's like stupid. So I live with 53 HP points, which is barely living. And I go for another Brave Bird, but since Gastrodon's HP, which it's like 100 or so, my recoil is gonna leave me with 10 HP, which actually gives me another chance to go for another Brave Bird. But he now learns that he can outspeed me. He should have gone for the T-Bolt, or I don't know. I don't know really why he switched out. So I go for two. I'm fat, and he knows the Sucker Punch is coming, and I actually go for it being safe. But yeah, he switches out being a nice player, pretty good player. That was actually the best play he could do, because it's pretty much a good game now. I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird because I know that if I go for the sub and he goes for the Dragon Tail, I might have a hard time switching in Honchkrow again. So I take it out with a Brave Bird. After all those rough skin, rocky helmet, and recoil damage, I get a Moxie +1, which means I'm gonna be able to Sucker Punch, and that's gonna be game. So it was a great game. I don't know his name. I'm gonna put his link down because I know how can. The Pianist. He's a 420 Pianist or something. So it was a great game. So until next time, guys.